for my Axial SCX24 build project, and as you can see it does not quite look stock anymore. That's because I had the plan to upgrade everything on this car over the course of 3 videos, and this is the 3rd video, so everything that's not yet been upgraded is gonna be upgraded today. So let's have a look at what I've got. Alright, so let's go over this car and see what things are stock and what upgrades I've got for it. So the best way to see this is to have a look at the bottom, because from underneath this pretty much looks all stock. Starting from the front axle and the rear axle as well actually. There's still the stock axle from the stock SCX24. So what I've got is this from RC all-wheel drive. It comes in a nice metal box. I've got this. Some stickers of course. Some nice brass portal axles. They're so tiny, so cute and pretty heavy. This was one of the parts I was most excited for to put in this car, because it's so high quality and so small and it's really cool. So yeah, this one, and of course the rear axle as well. The full set. So that's what I've got for the axles. I'm very excited to put those on. Now, if we have a look again, we can see the linkages are still plastic as well, so we need to change that. So I've got these from Injora, these high clearance brass axles to give even more weight down low. These bags are incredibly hard to open for some reason. Plastic bag in a plastic bag, of course, why not? Very nice. And everything you need to mount them. Alright. And then as well, the center skid plate is also still the stock plastic skid plate. You can even see the quality control sticker on there. So that's got to be changed. So from Injora again, I got this center plate. It's also made out of brass, so nice and heavy. Yep, that's a nice part. And then, as you can see in there as well, the drive shafts are also the stock drive shafts. So we need to change those up. So again, Injora to the rescue. These nice steel drive shafts. Very nice. And some screws, of course. And then the last thing I've got is actually for these axles as well. It's not a necessary upgrade or anything, but these are some overdrive gears. We can put them in the front axle, and that will make sure the front wheels are turning slightly faster than the rear wheels, which is good for going like up hills and stuff, because then the front wheels are kind of pulling the rest of the car along. So yeah, got these as well. We're gonna put them in those axles. Right, but before we're going to put the upgrades on this car, we need to see what it's like right now and how it drives as it is. So I'm going to build a little crawler course on the floor in my room, and then we can test this thing out in its current form. Alright, so here's our course. We got to start off over there and get over these 110 scale crawler tires, then over this pillow, onto these tires, and then back down, over the vintage RC car. Then we have a hill climb. It doesn't look all that steep, which it isn't, but it's very slippery. And then onto the bed, and then we need to get over this tire. Then we turn around back down, and then the finish line is on top of this box of tooltips. So this looks very simple, but I'm afraid it's going to be a lot harder than it looks. So here we go. We can drive very slow with the Injora Fat Viper motor. Oh wow, that's actually way easier than I expected. Whoa. We need to get onto those wheels and not next to them. Alright. No. Ah, shit. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, there it is. Now let's turn around so we can get up here. Oh, that was just a skill issue. We need to line it up straight, of course. Right, there we go. Oh no. Should be looking at the car, not the camera. Well, also the camera, but... Alright, there it is. Now this is a struggle. Let's see if we put it up there a little bit. Is it able to get up? Without sliding back down. Nope, we're sliding. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's not steep, it's very slippery. So I'm hoping if we add some extra weight, it's going to push the car down more. We should be able to do this. Oh, maybe we're going to right now. Nope, we're not. Never mind. Alright, so hopefully when we add the extra weight, this should be a lot easier. That's why I think the overdrive gears might help a little bit. Because it's not gonna do it. And those links that I've got for the high clearance links, they should help as well. Alright, let's just turn it around and try to get back down alive. At first I was kind of sad that I couldn't fit the interior in the body, but I think seeing that motor turn is pretty cool as well. Right, we can get very slowly down. Oh, you can see it's slipping. Trying to keep it in control. But we're sliding. Yeah, we made it. Nice. Now this last bit should be easy. There we go. Alright, so that's how it does in its current form. Let's go and add some weight. Alright, it's time to go and put the upgrades on, and I think the easiest place to start is with the center skid plate. Well, it's not the easiest, but it is the most convenient since it's, yeah, basically the center of the car. So let's go and fully disassemble this car pretty much to get to that part. Right, so I'm taking the body off just to make it a little more convenient to work on this car. I'm gonna do the same to the wheels as well. Right, now let's unscrew these side panels. Alright, so we can get access to the screws right now, so that's perfect. Well, let's first unscrew the gearbox from the skid plate. That's pretty much the whole center of the car right there. Now let's get the skid plate off. Now we only need to disconnect the rest of the links. Alright, now there it is, and since it's only just plastic, it weighs pretty much nothing. And then compared to this one, yeah, that's a big difference in weight. But we gotta measure what the exact difference is, because that's kind of the thing I've been doing throughout this whole series, is keeping track of all the weight differences of all the parts. So let's get our scale and see what the difference is. Right, there's my kitchen scale. Now let's see, what does a stock one weigh? 3 grams, that's pretty much nothing. And now the new one. 15 grams. 5 times as heavy, and that's pretty much the lowest part of the car, so that should be pretty good for a center of gravity. Alright, we got the new skid plate in there. Very nice, but now the next step would be to screw everything back together and get all the links back together to the skid plate. But that wouldn't make sense to do with these plastic ones since I've got these upgraded ones. So let's go and take all the plastic ones out and replace them with these. Alright, now we have a completely bare chassis pretty much, except for this link. I've left that on there because I noticed that's a mistake I made when ordering this. This link kit does not include this link or something. So I'm not fully sure how that's gonna work. So yeah, I'm just gonna start putting stuff on, and maybe there's something to fill this up. I don't know. So I'm just gonna start at the back, just putting everything back on just like I took it off, and then I'll show you what's going on here. Alright, I've got all the links assembled right now, because that was actually quite a big task as well, to put these parts in the middle and the O-rings around them. And then I actually also noticed what's going on with this part, because at first I thought there were not enough links to replace this one as well, but this thing is actually replaced by 2 other links, these 2 links, so actually everything gets replaced. So yeah, now we can start putting everything onto the car, but before that we need to weigh the difference in weight between the plastic and the brass links. So here's the scale. Now start off with the plastic links. They all together weigh 5 grams. That's not a lot. And then the brass ones, 38 grams. That's a lot better. Right, now we can start putting them onto the car. Alright, got all the links on there, just the reverse process of taking them off. And I think it's now gonna be time that we take off the old axles and replace them with these new ones. Now let's put this to the side and then the front one. Alright, and there's our front axle. And now it is time for the weight differences. So let's actually do, because it's fun, the front and rear axles separately. Alright, so front axle, 21 grams for stock. And now the new one, 87. That is quite a bit heavier. Alright, now the rear one, 15 grams. The new one, 75. 60 grams of difference. Dang, that's a lot. Alright, so now was going to be the point where I put them on the car, but actually before I'm going to put these on the car, we need to put the overdrive gears in the front axle. So let's do that first. Alright, let's go and take this beautiful axle apart. Okay, you can see it has all ball bearings in there, nice. Oh, we need to take the portals off as well to be able to get the drive shafts out. Alright, let's put that to the side. So I'm not sure what, how much teeth are on these gears, but I know that these gears are 23% overdrive. So the front wheels are going to turn 23% faster than the rear wheels. Alright, let's put that in there. And now let's try to put everything back together. Now let's put some grease in there, put everything back together, and then we can put it onto the car. Alright, so here it is with the axles mostly mounted. And now we need to put all of the electronic stuff back on. But while we're doing that, we also need to put the new drive shafts on. So I think I've got to take the drive shafts off of the gearbox. And then we can measure the weight difference between the plastic ones and the metal ones before we put them on. Then first the stock drive shafts, they weigh absolutely nothing. I was gonna say almost literally nothing, it's 2 grams. It took a while for it to notice there was even anything on there. Now the steel ones, they're significantly heavier. 16 grams. Dang, that's 8 times as heavy. Alright, so let's put these and everything else back onto the car just like we took it apart. And have a look at what the car's like when it's all together. Alright, I made a mistake. Quite a big mistake as well. Some of you might have noticed it, but I put this skid plate on wrong. It needs to be 180 degrees twisted. Because now these gears from the gearbox do not line up with the hole in the skid plate, so I gotta take everything apart and put it back together the right way. Well, it's been a few weeks, but here it is, fully back together, and with even more upgrades than it had before actually, because first of all, here in the back, the mount where the linkages go on used to be the plastic one from the stock car, but I actually ordered a new one from Injora, made of aluminium, and that's the one you see right there. And when I ordered that one, I also ordered a new servo mount, because here in the front used to be the servo mount that came with the MB24 kit, just this plastic one, but now I ordered an adjustable aluminium one so I can adjust how the servo sits, and now it doesn't interfere with the body or anything and sits perfectly, and it doesn't have an ugly plastic part anymore, it's just aluminium. So everything on this car is now fully upgraded and looking fresh and nice and clean, and I gotta say it's nice and heavy now. So yeah, let's go and test drive this thing. Alright, I've tried to replicate a similar course to what we had in the beginning of the video, but it's not gonna be exactly the same, but let's go test this car out. I still find it mesmerizing how slow this thing is. Those tires have still a lot of sand in them, so they're pretty slippery. Ow. We're pushing the tires away. Take two. It's pretty hard driving one-handed actually. Yeah, now we need to turn around. Well, let's just put it like this because we know it can turn. Yeah, that step up at the bottom, that's hard. Alright, this is very disappointing, even if I help it a little bit. It's still sliding. But I feel like since it's been a couple weeks since this car was almost finished, I've driven it around since then a couple of times, and I feel like these tires have got kind of like little pieces of dust in them, so they're not quite as grippy anymore, and just this plank is so incredibly slippery. So I feel like it's not really blame on the car but the tires, and that's mostly because of me, because I've been driving the car. Oh, there we go. It sticks on this part. Nope. It's just because there's a lot of time that went past that, yeah, the tires have gone kind of dusty and don't have the grip like they used to from new anymore. Because when I had the car finished without those two new aluminium parts in the front and the back, it was able to get up here easily. But yeah, since I knew I was gonna upgrade them anyways, I didn't film that. But it did this easily, but yeah, now the tires have lost their grip kind of, so it's not doing it. Let's continue up here. Oh yeah, we need to go over the tire, that's right. We kind of need to get the back tire on there one at a time. Oh, now we're going over sideways. That's not completely the goal. Yeah, it's not doing it. Oh man. Well, let's get back down, because that should be more easy. Just gonna slide down, isn't it? Yep. There we go. Yep, there it is. Alright, there it is. A fully upgraded Axial SCX24. I think it turned out really cool. I love the way it looks. It feels heavy, it feels quality, it feels like it's capable. And it is actually pretty capable, even though it didn't really show on camera just a minute ago. The obstacles just weren't quite right for this car. But on some different obstacles, I've already tested it out and it is pretty capable. And I've actually already got some plans to make it even better, some little tweaks here and there, but that will be coming up in a future video. But because I fully upgraded this car, I was able to rebuild the stock car out of all of the parts that came off of the old car, and now I've got a new car to start a new project from. So yeah, I've got a lot of plans for both of these cars. So if you like what I've done with this car, please like this video, and if you want to see what I'm gonna do with both of these cars, you gotta subscribe to my channel, and then I'll see you in the next one. Yo!